But is the damage done here from Colorado? I mean, didn't this just energize Donald Trump's base and now they're proven correct?
Well, it has throughout the entirety of this process. Every time someone indicts him, every one time someone tries to go after him in the court of legal opinion, he's used it to mobilize his supporters and his base in the court of public opinion. And so far, it's worked, no doubt. In the primary now, there's the big caveat, the big question mark as to whether or not people outside of his base, outside of those who have been committed to Donald Trump all along, are willing to go along with him. There was a really alarming poll that came out over the weekend from the New York Times, of all places, that showed 6 out of 10 Biden supporters in 2020 believe President Biden is too old to serve. That's not conservatives. That's not Republicans. That's his own supporters. And if I'm in Team Biden's camp right now, those alarm bells, they're sounding, and they're sounding loudly.
What about Team Haley's camp? I mean, how long does she stick around for? What are you expecting tomorrow?
Well, she got her first win in the DC primary yesterday. It was symbolic but important, no doubt. And look, Ambassador Haley's run a spirited campaign. She's going to have the financial resources to go on as long as she wants. And right now, she represents the old guard of the Republican Party. And that old guard still does have a lot of sway in terms of what happens in November. Look, I think it's going to be close in the general election. American politics is extremely divided. It's about a 50-50 split, and it just edges one way or another depending on the year. So those Haley supporters, they need to come home. And the big question mark is whether or not Donald Trump will do the work needed to unify the party. To date, unification hasn't really been his strong suit, but it might be what he needs to do if he wants to change things in 2024.
Where does Haley's supporters go, Colin?
That's the million-dollar question. And I think it's a mistake to assume they're just going to naturally gravitate to President Trump because they share the same label. I also think there's big questions about Joe Biden and his fitness for office. And the polls show that 7 in 10 Americans do not want a Trump versus Biden rematch. That's 70%. That's the rematch they appear to be on course to getting. So there's going to be a lot of voters up for grabs.
Right. Do you expect her to tap out tomorrow? I mean, what sort of a sweep are you expecting Donald Trump to have on Super Tuesday?
Only she knows the answer to that. Like, campaigns tend to end because they run out of money. Nikki Haley's not going to run out of money. She's got plenty of support from the donor community. So she'll be able to go on as long as she wants. But at some point, she and her team are going to have to come up with a rationale and a path to do so. President Trump's continuing legal woes, his continuing distractions, that would be a reason to continue going. But at some point, she's going to have to put some wins on the board as well.
Okay, Colin Reed, good to see you. We'll chat to you again soon. Thank you.